Welcome to another deep dive. This time we're really digging into a story that doesn't mess around. Attorney for the Damned by Renier Wyers. Just picture this. A lawyer, but not your average lawyer, oh no. This is the guy you call when you need someone who operates in the shadows, someone who knows how to bend the rules, maybe even break them. And one night the phone rings, and let's just say things get really, really interesting.
Oh, this one grabs you right from the start, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Right off the bat, we meet Horace Camberton, and this guy is the dictionary definition of morally ambiguous. His client, Burke Houghton, himself a career criminal, has just died. So naturally, you'd expect, I don't know, a touch of sadness, maybe a hint of regret.
Not Camberton, no way.
Exactly. The guy's more worried about losing a source of income than he is about, a human life ending.
It's downright chilling how Wyers sets it up. Camberton's biggest regret is losing a, and I quote, well-paying client. Talk about a punch to the gut, right? Tells you everything you need to know about him right there.
It's like he's more concerned about making his next mortgage payment than about the fact that a man is dead. And what does he do? He starts prepping for a new client, but instead of pulling out law books and legal briefs, he reaches for something else. And it's not just one, he grabs two loaded pistols. Not exactly standard lawyerly conduct, wouldn't you say?
Only if you're practicing law in some kind of Quentin Tarantino film. But seriously, that little detail, that's Wyers telling us this isn't just some lawyer preparing for a day in court. This is someone gearing up for a showdown.
Totally. And the setting, it just adds to that whole vibe. He's holed up in the Avon Arms Hotel, and this place is described as a haven for the worst of the worst. We're talking shysters, racketeers, and elegantly clad hoodlums. It's like Camberton's not just playing a part here, he's deeply entrenched in this world.
Oh, absolutely. He's practically swimming.
Okay, but now for the real kicker. The new client he's arming himself for. This isn't just any two-bit crook. We're talking about Tony Durnak, public enemy number one. The man was presumed dead. Can you imagine what must have been going through Camberton's mind when Durnak just strolled in?
I bet his blood ran ice cold.
Right. Talk about a ghost from the past. And here's the thing. Durnak isn't there for a casual catch-up. He needs Camberton's help to vanish, to completely disappear, escape the country, the whole 9 yards. And he's not shy about it either. He offers Camberton a starter of 25 grand.
A small fortune to you and me, but to Durnak, a mere pittance.
Exactly. That's where the story takes this crazy turn, even for a guy like Camberton. Because instead of seeing dollar signs, instead of thinking, okay, how do I play this? Oh, he panics. He completely loses it, pulls out one of his guns and shoots Durnak. And it's not just once, it's twice. Talk about a drastic overreaction.
Oh, this is way more than just a simple fight or flight response. Remember, we're talking about a man who has spent his entire life towing the line, making dangerous deals. Durnak's sudden appearance, it's like this living, breathing reminder of everything Camberton has tried to outrun, everything he's tried to bury.
It's like his whole carefully constructed world just imploded, and he didn't know how to handle it.
Exactly, and it gets even more intense. So the police show up, right? Drawn by the gunshots, naturally. And any normal person, even a crooked lawyer, would at least try to come up with some kind of believable story.
But not Camberton.
Nope, he goes full on, I was alone, Durnak tried to rob me. It's almost comical, except it's just so tragic.
It really makes you question his sanity at that point, doesn't it? Like, did he actually believe what he was saying, or was it just pure desperate delusion?
That's the beauty of Wyers' writing, honestly. He doesn't give you any easy answers. He makes you, the reader, question everything right alongside the characters.
And just when you think it can't get any weirder, it does. The police discover another body, hidden from view. Fred Miller, the shoemaker. Remember him.
Poor Fred Miller, an innocent man caught in the crossfire.
And this is where things get really complicated, because it turns out Miller wasn't just some random bystander. He was involved with Durnak's operation, though how deeply is never really clear.
He was just a pawn, really, a small-time guy caught up in something way over his head.
Okay.
And his death is heartbreaking because it really highlights the devastating consequences of Camberton's choices.
Camberton's actions didn't just affect him and Durnak. They ripped through the lives of everyday people like Miller.
Absolutely. It's a stark reminder that our actions have consequences that ripple outward, touching lives we may never even know we've impacted.
So there's Camberton standing there, two bodies, the police are closing in, and his story is falling apart faster than you can say legal malpractice. He's trapped with no legal loophole to save him this time.
And that, my friend, is where the true horror of the story takes root. Remember the title, Attorney for the Damned? Well, it takes on a whole new meaning when we see what becomes of Camberton. He's gone from representing the damned to becoming one of them himself.
Instead of ending up in a courtroom, he's deemed insane, confined to an asylum. But it's not just the bars that imprison him. He's tormented by these vivid hallucinations of Tony Durnak. It's like something out of a horror movie, you know?
It's the ultimate punishment for a man like Camberton. This is a man who thrived on manipulating the legal system, on finding those loopholes, those technicalities that kept his clients, well, let's just say, out of the hot seat.
Yeah.
But in the end, there's no escaping true justice, is there?
No, it catches up to him in a way no court ever could, haunting him, driving him mad from the inside out. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What is justice? Is it about punishment? Or is it something more? Something deeper?
And that's the genius of Wyers' storytelling. He doesn't just leave us with Camberton's fate, he turns the mirror back on us. Remember that 25 grand that starter Durnak offered? How many of us can honestly say we wouldn't be tempted? That we wouldn't at least consider it?
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? That the line between right and wrong, it's not always so clear. And sometimes the choices we make, they have consequences that echo far beyond anything we could have imagined.
Attorney for the Damned is a wild ride, that's for sure. It's dark, it's suspenseful, and it really digs into those murky depths of the human psyche.
It reminds us that sometimes the scariest monsters aren't the ones lurking in the shadows. They're the ones we carry within ourselves.
Absolutely. And that sometimes the truest form of justice plays out not in a courtroom, but within the confines of our own conscience.
Well said. If you're looking for a story that will stay with you long after you've turned the last page, look no further than Attorney for the Damned. It's a chilling exploration of guilt, paranoia, and the price of unchecked ambition. A big thank you to everyone for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, sometimes the most unsettling stories are the ones that hit closest to home.